even look outside because Satan is literally dropping demons every.
Aloha friend, I was tagged in your video because people are wanting to know, is what you're saying in this prediction of 3 days of darkness, is this actually real? Your platform appears to be coming from a place of trying to educate, and you use language of being a psychic and being someone who communicates to God and more. I would love to give you some feedback, and if this is unwarranted, completely stop watching this. When you are leaning into your abilities of sight and your abilities of communication and your psychic abilities specifically, we really have to understand what the differences are between our vibrations of intuition and our thought processes of imagination. And they feel like the same thing because they both come in with speed and velocity. But the velocity of intuition vibrationally is faster. The velocity of your imagination, your creative mind, is an amalgam of smaller thoughts. And that amalgam of smaller thoughts has now moved you into the paradigm of thinking about Satan, dropping demons, and more, because that is going to move through the frequency of how you have been templated to believe. That is a very subjective perspective. That is a biased perspective. And our job as educators is to have an unbiased perspective of the way that energy flows. I believe that you're actually really trying to be helpful, trying to warn the collective and the community. But what you're really doing is drawing attention to the fact that you haven't learned enough information yet on how to be a person who utilizes psychic ability and energetic ability in a way to communicate in a way that is actually truly helpful. And please just take this as feedback. How do I know all this information? I have spent decades, literally decades, honing the ability to do the same exact thing that I believe that you are trying to do. If I were to utilize my platform to talk about all the nefarious energy, the scary energy out there, I could absolutely try to persuade other individuals to be fearful. And I don't want to do that. And I don't believe that you're actually wanting to do that either. So because we are trying to be of assistance and be of help, we have to move outside of our ego. And that's a hard thing to do. Because moving outside of their ego means we've got to take feedback. We've got to process differently and remove ourselves from our literal projection of what we believe fear is. Otherwise, we are just the garage medium or the garage psychic, and we're trying to intuit information, but we're just coming through with a lot of nescient ability that is really not being productive and of assistance. And if you would love any other further insight and information about this, I would be happy to have a conversation outside of social media.